Brianna, can you hear me?
I can. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. A cup of coffee?
Sure, I'll take a cup of coffee. Thank you. Thank you.
Wasn't sure.
Thank you.
Eric, you want one too?
Wow,
Yeah, please, sir. Thank
look
you,
at
sir.
this guy. He's
Yeah.
taking care of everybody.
You know, he was pumped.
You have a lucky wife.
Yeah.
Do this at
I
home
think
too?
so. No, she likes it a certain way.
Uh-oh.
Certainly, we like some coffee.
Oh, decaf, I got my own here though. Thank you.
Decaf.
Yeah.
He's working on the alleys.
He's gonna get paid.
They paid two, and they're prepping the other 6 right now, and he's got to put some, we had some, change some design stuff on us, we've got to put some.
Gary's full traveling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morning.
Tracy, morning.
Morning. That's right.
Really good, how are you?
I'm well.
Good morning.
Honorary member today.
Do I need to bring anything up on here, maybe Google?
The only thing is, I don't know. I think I sent it.
What was it?
I was fortunate there too.
That one, yeah.
That's one of them. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that one.
Can you see yourself on that TV? Yeah.
Here
for the hour of this
It's not gonna let me open a bigger here, is that, or Eric, is that a problem? Wait, let me try that.
Nah, screw it. No worries. Once it's over, it's there. It's just other things. Hell, very healthy.
Man, it doesn't look like this. Huh, okay, there we go.
Are we gonna be out Deanna too? I knew Jackie too. Deanna said she couldn't make it today.
I got a whole bunch. Let's see here. We are. Not,
Gary's in,
we're not
Gary's not even in
doing
the country yet, is
Deanna.
he?
Yeah, we're not doing Deanna, we're not doing Gary, and we're not doing Jackie.
Okay, so we're
And
on.
we're only doing Jennifer until 9:30, so that's a shorter meeting. So-
Hi there.
Oh, okay.
How are you doing?
So, but it,
You can say hi to people. I told him to be quiet.
Oh, there you go. That's very good. Yes, good job. What's your name?
Dean, I'm a 6-year-old and I'm finally first grade.
I got it.
Well, welcome.
Very nice.
Thank
Oh,
you.
welcome, Dean.
I'm eating a sandwich
I
right now.
could have been operator, here, I'm not sure.
And
Okay, we'll see you, thanks.
yeah.
Bye.
alright, this computer stuff all squared away.
We're recording.
Okay. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, here we are today. So, I'm gonna move things out of whack a little bit because we have a totally different game plan than what is printed on our agenda. And I feel like we give Brianna the last word. So this morning, I would love to give Brianna the first word of today's meeting. So Brianna, do you have anything?
Wait, did you warn her or did you just catch her off guard?
I totally caught her off guard.
She's not on the screen.
We're having,
Now she's not talking to me.
Well,
She might be trying to
we're having IT problems.
She's showing she's on mute.
I think my internet, we've been struggling with our internet so bad. I don't know if it's slow
Actually,
or,
we have brand new IT services.
I think they're,
Is there any
They're good.
construction on the site or maybe somebody hit a wire?
it's just been like that for the last 2 months.
Is it the
They're-
squirrel that got cub?
Yeah, could be. No, it's all of our stuff's old.
Mhm.
And so they gotta get it updated, that's what they're telling us.
Okay, well, I tried.
Brianna, can you hear us?
You're on mute.
We can't even see her. Well, she has her camera off, but she's online because it has her name there.
Yeah, but she's still
She
connected.
was on, I seen her on there. Yeah, which means
But
she
she
turned on,
probably knew she
turned
had
on
a
her
window.
camera potty probably.
Yeah. Quick break.
Yeah.
Coffee or rest.
Seeing how she didn't know what was going on.
She wouldn't know she was on this part of the program.
Exactly, so well, back to the game plan, I tried once. All right, we'll call the meeting to order at
8:36.
like he said. And, we'll do introductions. My name is Eric, chairman of the committee.
Council President Tracy Lindsay, I'm liaison to the commission, and first, before we continue, I want to thank the chair for being very accommodating, so that when we schedule the meeting, so that we get the time to be 9/11 ceremony. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Clint Coleman, traffic safety member.
Jerry Nozine, Canby Public Works.
AJ Miller, Canby Police.
Jenny Driscoll, committee member.
Little fellow.
Dean, he's 6 years old in first grade.
Yeah.
He's eating a sandwich.
That's funny.
So,
That's me.
He's like, "What?" Next on the agenda is to review and approve the minutes from August. And that includes adding the Northeast 10th Avenue traffic study to the city's webpage, which I've talked to Teresa about doing that, and that's okay to do, so we just need to get Spencer to email me and Teresa those packets. Oh, sorry,
AJ?
yes, and
I would like to take this.
that's right, I apologize.
You guys want the 10th Avenue traffic study emailed to you,
We want
AJ,
All
and
traffic studies.
all
All,
traffic.
yeah, from
Keep it
now.
on the time, or?
No, I was about to. I am like slow and really like polar bear right now, but yes, only from, first month we had Northeast 10th, because we're supposed to talk about the Logan Bridge today.
Logging Road, yeah.
Yeah, Logan Road, and then we're supposed to have something else come up, but that's the next subject.
What's your email start with?
Just Eric, Eric R.
Got it.
Is it okay to go ahead and I move that we approve the August 14, 2024 minutes?
I second. All right, agreed. I was still foggy this morning too, guys. I was in a hurry to get out the door, there's no coffee in this system.
You know what, hearing all in favor,
Aye.
I say thank you. Okay, next business was supposed to be citizen input from Josh Whitmere.
Did he get a hold of you?
He sure did. So hold that thought. You're smiling so big that it scares me. So hold
I'm just glad he was able to.
Will he be here today or no?
No, Josh will not be able to make
Okay.
it today. He's out of town on work-related issues.
Okay.
So, but he lives on Southwest Third Avenue, or Southwest Third, between Ivy and Elm is what he's concerned about with the speeding and reckless driving and the school children now. And he's really concerned about the Grant intersection there at Southwest Third. So, those highlights, he didn't go much into detail with me, but he was lucky enough to go into detail with Jennifer. So, Jennifer, you got 30 seconds to
I can talk fast, hold on to your hats. Okay, so Josh is actually my neighbor. He reached out to me a couple weeks ago after he was backing into his driveway and saw a speeding vehicle, which we have a lot of since 99's had to work, and people realize that you can get through between Elm and Ivy on Southwest Third. And a vehicle speeding that didn't want to slow down for him backing up into his driveway. It hopped up onto the curb, drove on the sidewalk, and almost hit him.
Wow.
And he was already concerned because he's got young kids. I've got lots of people on the street have younger kids. A lot of kids walk to school, probably a couple hundred kids walk down our street. It's an unofficially designated safe route to school. And then, lots of people do. And then, so we've got Ivy, Grant, Elm. If you're following the designated Candy bike path, you're supposed to come down Grant, across 99, down to Third and take Third from Grant to Elm. And it's also really hard to see turning on and off of Elm, any kind of vehicle or bike. Right next to my neighbor, the other side of him, there's a care home for elderly folk. There is a preschool directly across the street. And then further down the street, only a couple houses really to where the intersection of Ivy and Southwest Third is, there's a daycare. So there are a lot of people, there are a lot of little people, there are a lot of people who maybe don't have the best agility, and then just the whole rest of the neighborhood further down. He'd been talking to neighbors who were having difficulty backing out of the driveways because there's not a whole lot of distance between where somebody might, if they turn off of Grant onto Southwest Third, they can still get speed pretty easily. So if people are just in a hurry because they're frustrated about 99. And a lot more people are speeding just from one end to another, Ivy to Elm, because it's a quicker way through. One block further north at Southwest Second, there is a stop sign actually on Southwest Second, on either side of Grant. Right now, as it stands, Grant and Southwest Third, you have to stop when Grant ends in Third, but there's no stop sign to make traffic going across Third, down Third one way or the other, slow down. So we've seen a lot of speeding. That's not new. 99 made it a lot worse, and now the kids are back at school, so there's that many more pedestrians. He had originally asked, would speed bumps be a potential solution? Like, I can tell you right now, that's not gonna be. The fire department doesn't like that. I said, okay, so what else might be an option? Back in 22, I believe, there was a traffic study done by DKS through the planning department because they were putting in apartments basically at the intersection of Southwest Third and Grant. The street had a high volume of traffic then. I don't remember if it had speed or not, but I know traffic-wise, it was high a few years ago. And now that the secret is out, I think even with 99 opening back up, we're gonna continue to see people who see that as a great shortcut to get through. It used to just be a handful of people, sometimes the kids really hurrying to or from school, and then a handful of hooligans in between, but it's a lot more consistent now. And the driving on the sidewalk thing really just blew everybody away. So his request, which I would also support, would be looking at, do we have the traffic volume to support putting in stop signs? on either side of where Grant and Third meet, so that's kind of a three-way stop there for all of the places where vehicles can come and go. I've talked to the neighbors immediately around it, and while nobody would be thrilled about the additional car noise of cars stopping and going, most people would still prefer that to having people flying down the street. The other concern is if somebody's flying down the street, they do something reckless. There are a lot of cars on the side of the road and a lot of houses that are close to the road. So if somebody runs into a car, it's going to probably run into other cars, possibly houses, possibly with people in between. And that would just be a totally unnecessary bad situation.
So I had a conversation with them and advised them, clearly the fire department's wishes, which I also told them that if you got petition signatures to politely have a conversation with the fire department, that would work also, but I said first and foremost, fill out the paperwork on PD's site for the trailer and traffic complaint. So he was gonna fill that out and have that armed with him when he came and spoke with us. So I don't know if he was able to fill that out real
I'm not
quick.
sure.
And so that's something in your wheelhouse, AJ, that might be coming down the pipe.
Question? Yes. Well, so the problem is they're speeding down Third.
Correct.
On the side, off the sidewalk.
And they went on the sidewalk because they had to stop real quick and they had to swerve around.
No, they didn't have to stop real quick. They were speeding, and instead of slowing down, which they had plenty of visible warning to do it, they chose to go up on the sidewalk and go around.
Past the vehicle.
Past the vehicle, yep, they
Oh, my.
They had a trailer on their truck and they were backing it in, now cars coming down the street, they said, I don't wanna slow down for this, jumped up on the curb and went around to keep going.
Oh, my
Towards
goodness.
I think.
People are very impatient.
Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh.
Do you know if when DKS did their traffic study, did they weigh in on one-way streets for that area?
I am pretty confident that they did not, them looking at it all was just me raising a huge ruckus about the fact that they were trying to put in a driveway, kind of like, almost cat corner to an intersection, because a lot of the rules say you shouldn't have driveways immediately next to one another, and I thought it should be brought up as, amendments or changes that.
And then one last question is, on that street, is the traffic pretty balanced in both directions?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because it is very close to the high school,
okay.
on the L end, and then on the I end, well, it's Ivy. The other thing, when we talked about one-way streets as a possibility previously, Second is designated as the alternate truck route.
What?
This
Okay.
portion, Tracy,
I'm very familiar with Southwest Second.
Yeah, it's between Grant
that
and
is
then,
the designated truck route.
yeah,
Then why don't we have them on these streets? That is not a wide enough road for that.
Well, Southwest Second between Grant and Elm, there's no parking
There's no
on the
parking on
south
either
side,
side.
so it does give.
It's
enough
wider.
room Between Elm and Grant is where they can park on both sides, but by the church on that side, there's no parking on that side.
And the turning radiuses off 99 and stuff aren't bad. They're
Okay.
better than Ivy.
but then if you stay on the truck route, you actually kind of have to zigzag.
Yeah.
You have to go up Ivy and then across, to continue on Southeast Second, which, I mean, it's hard enough to do in a car, let alone in a semi. But that is the official designation for now. And, like I said, the bike route has people going, westward, Grant down to Third, and then go west on Third towards Elm. And I'm not a bicyclist, but I think normally bikes and cars would want to go the same direction.
So AJ, if you don't see his information come across, I can get you his phone number. He seems like a really cool guy that
Okay,
have a bike or a car sitting in his driveway.
okay, if
So,
we have like, we do that, but we don't have it.
don't have a bike anymore?
So,
God.
Oh, really?
he bought it from us.
Oh,
we didn't want to keep it?
Well, I knew that they
Nobody
went
was
to a car
interested in
and
riding it.
Smith was on it,
This
wasn't
day
he?
and age, you want to get run over on a
Right.
bike, you know what I mean?
It's pretty dangerous, yeah.
Yeah, Smith went, he's a DA investigator now for the DA's office, Macon has some maybe problem that he just didn't wanna.
I didn't want to go back to it. And nobody else was left on tape. Oh, okay, well.
Oh, my.
And him and I started at the same time, he's getting old. Tell him I said that. I think I'm older than him.
I give him up enough for that. But anyway, so that's with that. Now, let's discuss, I don't think we're gonna be able to discuss citizens' concern on Clint's issue of the Logan Road
Yeah,
study.
did we do a study on that one? Spencer was gonna hang the device, I believe, on the road.
Are we talking like because of e-bike speed and stuff? Or what are we talking about?
Well, on the road from 13th and Burke Parkway to the gun club,
Oh,
he was gonna measure the volume of traffic in both directions and the
we already did that.
speed, what went.
We did that last year too. So we could look at that. We already have that information.
Okay, so that's.
We did that.
Did we do it during the school year or did we do it during the summer?
It was, I don't remember, Tracy, but what they were saying is all the neighbors down there, when we were talking about paving it the first time plan,
Mhm.
they were saying that there were speeders, this was going on, all that, so we set it down there for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And it was at least a year ago, but if he was gonna do another one, he can do another, he can set up again.
Okay, yeah, he said he was, but would that be hard to call up that information? I can't imagine it'd be much different.
To get the information on the old stuff. or
Yeah.
to- No, I'll email him and what I'll do is I'll send it to Ron.
Yeah, it just feels like what was a year ago to what's today. I
Right,
feel like,
different.
I feel like the drivers are so much more aggressive now than they were even a year ago.
What are we going for on that, Clint? What was just to see if there's speeders down there or see
Well,
if
there's
there's
a couple-
traffic?
Couple of problems. Number one, that road is in horrible condition,
Yep,
and I believe it's city county, correct?
it's city gun club. Like the city owns it, but the gun club has a right of way to it.
So is it their,
It's our responsibility to maintain it. but
well, I mean, the police departments go down there regularly. And it's just an unsafe road, in my opinion, and then there's tons of youngsters that go down there that are trap shoot. And it's really a horrible road. It's an embarrassment to traffic safety. And I find it laughable that the people beyond the entrance to the gun club that live down there grouse about speeding. And with the presence of police officers, Officer Miller, could you touch on this? If you were going down there to do your practicing, or any of you and any of your colleagues, if you witness a speeder, I mean, you can take care of it, can't you?
Well, it'd be difficult on that road, it's not posted, there's no posted speed limit,
Okay.
And it's county.
it is county, and so on an non-posted county road, the posted speed limit's gonna be 55.
So actually, you raise a great point. Well, then, in my opinion, and it shouldn't be a heavy lift, that absolutely should be a posted road, and I would think that it shouldn't be more than 30. Do you think?
Well, part of it isn't being maintained, because there's a ton of potholes, so what happens is if you're going to the gun range from 13th, on the right side of the road, there's several potholes, so everybody
Horrible.
uses the left side of the road.
Yeah, it's unsafe,
And so it's just not really maintained.
and that's the real problem right there. And, so really, I mean, there's 500 plus gun club members and 8 people that live down the road. And the gun club is all in favor of it. I mean, there might be a few whiners that don't want it to be done, but I can't imagine why. I mean, just, if it's foggy, if it's rainy, if it's dark, and you have to go way off to the left-hand side to get down there safely. And Officer Miller, you can attest, that's a crummy road,
It's not good, yeah.
and it's not gonna get better with age. No problem does.
If we were to contact the county, would we be able to request a speed limit sign that would be reasonable for the condition of the road?
It's a city road, and we could post at 55. We have to do a speed request
Yeah, to get it lower.
to see what ODOT said, and we can do
Don't you think
it.
30 would be the speed to go, Officer Miller?
I couldn't say exactly what speed I think would be necessary there.
I don't know either.
That's why I was wanting to look at that study to see what they're actually doing right now in the crappy conditions. Because on the one side, you get a much higher speed reading than on the
Yeah.
side going down. And
Well, what are we going for on this? Do we wanna, where someone's saying there's a speeding problem? What I got told, Clint, sorry to interrupt you.
It's all right.
What I got told is I had money budgeted and I had approval to pay that.
Okay,
And everyone down there, I don't know what the gun club said at the time, but everyone that lived down there said, what are you gonna do? You need to put speed bumps in, you're gonna do that, people are gonna be back down here drag racing. That was their concern, and so it got shut down, which is like, oh, now I know I'm gonna have, I don't want the road to fall apart any worse, because it's gonna get so expensive to repair. And so, all of the neighbors down there, I've been waiting for them to get together and say, we want it paved. And that's what I've been waiting on, and so Mitch Moggenheimer was kind of heading that up. And
I can give you the support, I'll get the support from a unanimous vote of the board of the gun club. And I'll provide you with that. I wasn't able to go to their board meeting this week, but,
is there a speeding problem?
well,
There will be
If I pave it,
they don't want it fixed because
yep,
it's stopping.
that's inaccurate. They do want it fixed.
the gun club wants. it.
Yes.
Yeah,
The residents.
The
the
residents.
residents don't get the, yeah.
Which is just puzzling to me. But I think in order to, before you fix it, you're gonna have speed signs and that are
Enforceable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so there's a number of steps, but I think we can get there. And I'm happy to,
Yeah, because it'd be county enforcing it.
okay.
So the county would be the one stopping them?
It would have, like, anytime we have issues down there, when we call CCOM, Canby PD is always willing to help, but it's out of the city limits. It's like at our Zion National Cemetery or any of that, it's out of the city limits, so it's a county issue, and that's where we struggle with people dumping down there and all that, so getting a response down there, someone's gotta come from Clackamas County. There is a Clackamas, the Long Streets that live at the end, their son-in-law is a county sheriff.
That live at the end of the logging road.
Yeah, and so that's helped a little bit, Clint. We have some support there. but-
Okay, well, it's a project that I wanna take on, and so
Well, where are we going with this? So are we gonna,
ultimate goal is to have speed signs on both sides and have a repaved road that's safe to travel in both directions. And to find out a legitimate way that our police officers can enforce the law if they see someone breaking it. I mean, it seems so disrespectful that someone would drag race on that road or with the high presence of police. It's just.
They're doing it on Third, so of course they're gonna do it there.
Clint, I'm gonna slightly,
I don't disagree, but that's just.
no, I'm gonna indict myself because I used to be one of those speeders.
Well, I mean, we got a perfectly good drag strip of where
Yeah.
we're speeding legally, and that's the place to do it.
And that's
Statute of limitations.
the reason why I did it. because
And if we had those
that-
speed cameras, we could essentially use them in that location, and we should issue tickets.
the easiest way, Clint, to get that paved would be a recommendation from this board to city council.
Well, I think I need to do a little more homework first, so I can give them a better case.
It would help support me. I can't use street maintenance fee for it
Okay,
because it's out of it, but I can use gas tax, local gas tax money to pay it. I have money to do it. It's
and
just-
should the city take on that road, should we ask for it from the county?
It is our road.
It's our road, but it's not our jurisdiction.
Which is
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know,
It's on that line,
It's a
yeah.
loophole.
Well, it's kind of like
Yeah.
this land right here.
Yeah.
It's our road.
It's our land, but it's in the county.
So we ultimately, if we wanted to change the speed plan, we could do a request to ODOT for a speed sign. For a, like, if this group came up with a recommendation, we need to he'd need to talk to his people, make sure.
Okay.
Well, no, it wouldn't even be you guys. It would be Joe Merrick of the county.
Okay. And then when it comes to speed humps, you know, Oregon City has implemented these in some of their neighborhoods, kind of clever. On one of the streets that kind of parallels the bluff, they have they're like rubberized speed humps that we just put in manually.
Yeah,
Those are pretty effective.
We have them at Hope Village and we just put them in because we had people coming from Burr Street and racing over to
Do
Ivy.
you find it effective?
We have had a great slowdown.
Are they
with
kind of
the-
a hump?
Yeah, and the way we were able to put them was the fire fire department trucks can actually go
Oh, they can
Yeah,
stagger.
because
those.
they-
face them, so there's gaps, so like fire trucks aren't having to go over the fence.
Do you mind if I ask what those cost?
I can find out for you, yes.
When she was my case study for speed bumps, so, 'cause she told me before she came on board that she was having that done, and I'm like, really?
Yeah,
So-
we did that, we put up some stop signs and it has helped immensely.
And I would think even in like neighborhoods like where Jenny is, and if you can accommodate the fire department by having those staggered ones, and you can calm the neighborhood speed, you can satisfy the fire department. And, because it just seems like our hands are tied on some of these problems that we seem to be not able to solve.
I would support making a recommendation to the county to post a lower speed limit. Rather than the default 55, it's not currently posted, because realistically, it seems like getting the resources to pave it would be a much longer road. And I would be kind of concerned that if you pave this relatively low volume road, I mean, it's the.
So you're back to the logging.
Specifically the logging road, yeah, going back to the club. I would support posting a lower speed limit with requests to the county, and I'm paving it after it's got a lower speed, maybe, but like, I feel like once it gets paved, you're just gonna have.
Yeah, you gotta take
people
care of the
flying.
speed issue first.
Yeah,
So Council President Hensley, is the proper course on that for us to make a recommendation to lower the speed to the county on that review, or?
I
Well, we-
got a question on that. The street's ours though, right? Street is ours.
Correct.
So once we get the next thing approved, which is finalizing Bob's lowering the speed limit issue, then we could do our own. We don't have to put in for, through the county. It's
would
our
it meet
street.
any criteria? I thought our criteria was pretty limited.
Yeah, we
Well,
You can add
we
conditions.
lowered the speed limit right out here on Territorial, but we had to go through ODOT.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So Jerry, would we go through ODOT then to do this?
What I wanna do is I'm gonna send you. Clint, if you wanna talk to the guy that knows everything about this, I can give you his contact.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to.
His name's Joe Merrick.
I've talked to him before, I think.
Yes, and he's been at the county forever. And I can follow, I don't wanna make work for you, but if you wanna
No,
hear
I can do
regular
it.
amount, his phone number
Okay.
is 503
Mhm.
742
Mhm.
4705.
Okay,
And he knows everything that's going on with this type of stuff, and he is a good resource. And if he knows it's, and I'll talk to him too, but give him a call.
an official name for that particular road is the logging road.
He'll know what you're talking about when you explain it. It's Sequoia Parkway, where Sequoia Parkway dead ends and goes down to the logging road. He'll know exactly what you're talking about. He's been around for a long time.
Well, I'll work on that, and we don't need to vote on it.
And see what he says, Clint. He'll have good advice to you on the speed study, because it goes, I think it'll go through him.
Okay, perfect.
Could we take a moment, please, to circle back to third, and what the next steps are? Would we be able, Jerry, to actually like get the counter out there and not just put out the police, sign? Because it's such a temporary thing to put out the
Was
police
the
sign.
next-
That-
next-
So we're gonna do both. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of
Is
it.
Spencer on board with that already?
He doesn't know it yet.
No, not.
Yeah, but that was coming under new business.
Okay.
That's under new business.
The third
We should have
street.
came to this meeting.
I have one to share request, but I don't know if it falls under us or county.
Okay, hold that, okay.
I will hold that.
It's just really not working.
I wonder if it's not IT that's a more operator. at
Maybe that's
battery.
even a battery.
They should handle that too, right?
Well, I think you can manage a battery.
I don't know, we'll try.
I was just gonna say, as the computer guy finishes, but really, we can continue because you're,
We're getting out of time.
yeah. So the next, old business was the city ordinance finalizing the lowering speed limit to 20 miles an hour. I sent everyone a copy of the 2 changes that I had. Did everyone see those?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any concerns about those?
I actually didn't see it, I apologize.
Okay, so,
Can you copy me?
yeah, you pass that again.
Thanks.
It's 2 little changes, it's purpose, and then down to the very bottom, it's 1 and 2. It used to be A and B. It just made the whole thing go in process and procedural aspect of it. That's the only 2 things that I noticed. If everyone's okay with that, I would love approval to have that move on to its next stage of birth. So do we have anyone that's willing to, what's the word now I'm looking for?
Make a motion.
Make a motion, thank you.
Do you feel like this change will allow that request to be completed?
Yes.
And this was your recommendation?
Yeah, just the 2 small steps.
Okay.
All the heavy lifting was done by Spencer, Brianna, and
I move that we approve the city ordinance finalizing the lowering of the speed limit to 20 miles per hour as per Spencer and Eric's recommendation.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I've been wanting that off the plate for 2 months.
Real
Thank
quick-
you.
Real quick on that,
Yes,
I was involved in this a little bit,
yeah.
that recommendation is going to council.
So I need to figure out if I need to dress it up a little differently.
I think AJ told us last time that it's gotta be a council decision.
That's the
so that-
ordinance.
Yeah,
Okay.
I asked.
Mr. Spencer can do the ordinance.
I'll see if I can be back in a little bit, but I gotta go.
You wanna help?
Nope.
Is it a big guy?
Maybe.
I'm not helping.
You get the taser. I'll-
Okay, all right.
I'll wait until somebody.
Okay, so you're working on that some more.
No, well, yeah, just the final section.
Okay.
Just talk to her real quick and say, hey, is this presentable as this, or do I need to draft it into a prettier skirt to make it presentable? So, all right, awesome. And so we cannot confirm or deny any educational moments because both parties are gone.
Funny.
Oh,
He just failed.
Huh?
He just got out of here right before his segment.
He said he tried to come back.
Okay.
Maybe we should start with him first,
Yeah.
because he might have to bail.
He's the one that bounces first.
Yeah, do the citizen concerns, just don't give them before first and
That's true.
happen.
So media is done, accident data, that's stuff. Speed enforcement cameras, I unfortunately have not had any time to make any further progress this month. I apologize, I will continue to work harder on
Can
that.
I ask you a question on that?
Yes, sir.
Because I think that if they really want to move those cameras, it would seem to me that they should be willing to set them up. In other words, you don't buy them, we're just gonna take it for a test drive, set them up here. That would measure if there's a problem, how serious of a problem. We could pick and choose, maybe what do y'all think of being able to utilize these for, I would think you wouldn't need more than 3 months. And you could try them out in a couple of different spots. You could see how you like the system, what worked, what didn't work. What kind of problems do you have? You have a speeding problem and so on. And I think if they really want to move these cameras, they should be willing to allow you to take it for a test drive. I would recommend strongly that you ask them that.
Well, it's funny that you say that because they've been calling me about every 3 weeks, finding out what's going on. So the only reason I haven't answered back on them yet is because of the concerns that Tracy and I had originally brought up about being big brother and stuff like that. I would welcome, I would look happy to have that.
So it would
So,
seem like if we could have the council's blessing to pursue that and Chief Tro's approval, that would seem like a very respectful way to proceed ahead before asking and we could actually.
so Clint, I promise you this, ready?
Okay.
Tracy. Council.
Yes.
How would a presentation, something of that nature, how would you guys love that presentation?
All presentations are welcome.
Presentations are welcome.
I think-
On that duly
I
noted,
say before you pursue their approval, I would recommend reaching out to these folks and even see if they're even open to the idea. Because if they're not open to the idea,
And it
really
doesn't
don't need the approval.
Yeah.
Right.
I bet you I can get them.
Well,
So, because they're happy to,
so
they're really happy to get us on board.
Presentation here?
No,
Council. Okay.
well, yeah, Clint, are we talking actual stuff set up dummies and deploy them and use them
Well,
for 3 weeks?
I never
Or are we
went.
talking about just a presentation?
No, I never went to your Happy Valley presentation, but how big are these cameras, by the way? I mean, are they pretty mobile?
2 of those put together, copy pots. would be
Okay.
great.
And then do they produce data very much like the?
The information they can produce is more information than you'll ever use, I
Okay.
promise.
All right, so in other words, they're not going at a great deal of risk to allow us to set one up and they can monitor it and basically, we're like a prospect, they're trying to turn us into a client. And so I would ask them if they're open to it for a segment of time, then I would confer with Council President Hensley.
I already got that
Chief
done, I'm
Crow,
not letting her go back on it.
and Chief Crow, and
Chief sure doesn't have an option, so.
We can listen to the.
We-
Oh, I just said that on
Definitely
TV.
has
Wait, we need to sign off on a demonstration period? Like, do we need to sign off for a demonstration period?
I would at least think that the Chief Tro would have to.
So we could make the request of the vendor, say, hey, would you be willing to do a demonstration period of X amount of time? I think a couple months isn't a terrible idea.
Yeah.
'Cause then we have comparative data over a period of time, it's not just a tiny little window. And if they say yes, then we can bring it back next time and say, hey, can we get the recommendation to get the sign off from anybody?
Where would we,
Then if
where
we
would we practice, where would we put them, Clint, on 99?
I don't think.
Or on a city street?
I think a territorial.
Okay, yeah, we have control over that.
And then I would say that if we can demonstrate that we really have a problem, which I'm firmly believe that we do, then that would make the sales job to the council and the chief a lot
Okay.
easier.
Maybe territorial, 13th, and then someone kind of like near
Everywhere,
downtown where people are.
everywhere.
So we can't put them on 99, because 99 is county.
No,
But we could put them on Ivy, no?
Yeah.
Ivy, I have jurisdiction over this county road, but it'll be ours.
Okay. So, but if we put it up at 99 and Ivy, and we're trying to catch people maybe running the red light or speeding through on Ivy, we can do that, but we just can't do the view from.
ODOT.
Gotcha.
We do have places downtown where people like to skip through the stop signs.
Oh, yes.
Like basically from Wake Park all the way to 99, they'll just drive straight through and ignore the stop signs.
That's true,
So that might
but
be
if your
there.
goal is to catch people speeding, to catch people going through stop signs, you could need
Improve
to
that
narrow
behavior,
your goal.
improve that behavior.
Yes.
Because really it's more, I don't, personally, I don't think we need to collect a ton of data from them necessarily, but I really do think they're effective in discouraging bad behavior. Because there's not a person in the world driving through a stop sign who doesn't think they're not supposed to do that. But if they feel like something's looking at them and it might give them a ticket, it would make them think twice and in a lot of instances follow the rules.
And if we have that, are we going to ticket people?
That's kind of up to the police because they're concerned about the amount of resources behind it.
Yeah.
Personally, I like the scare tactic
I like the
more than
scare tactic.
worried about actual tickets. personally.
But if it gets out that no tickets are ever issued, they're not gonna care if there's a camera there.
Yeah, that's not good. I
But are
think-
they gonna get that information when
Well, I think a lot of the problem
Small town,
are
yeah.
repeat
I'm gonna-
offenders, and so if you give them a warning, that, you know, we're seeing you, you're speeding, this is a warning, continue to do this. I think one warning is enough.
Because I wonder how much of the traffic issues where people are just like blatantly disregarding things, how many of them are local residents doing it and how much of it is people who are coming from other areas?
I think it's both.
Because I think it's gonna be both, yeah.
I know in the study in Sherwood on Highway 99 where they have the red light cameras, they find that only 8%, at the time that we did this study, only 8% of the offenders live in that zip code. It was mainly people that are outside the area that,
They're coming through.
Yeah.
Support businesses.
And this system will answer all of those questions that just was asked.
I think it's reasonable.
So you could have all the information you want to know about it.
I think it's
Losing my color underwear.
reasonable, Eric, if you could ask them and maybe we can,
I guarantee it.
Okay.
Matter of fact,
you can have that next
I'm
meeting
gonna
at the
have
office.
an email with your name on it. So,
Okay.
okay. New business, adding Southwest Third traffic study. There you go.
Fantastic, thank you.
So,
Real quick, where do we want, where are we trying to catch them speeding, right at, through the intersection?
what, 227?
Yeah, so my neighbor who has the guy on the sidewalk, he is probably about 227. He's across from Zor Lutheran Church,
Yeah.
like the side of the building, not their parking lot. In that area, you would actually get a pretty decent amount of people who have gathered up speed. It's not that people aren't speeding in both directions, but
Around 227?
I think so. You could always say slash Zor Lutheran.
Have you ever tried, or would it be okay, I know that one of the things that Bob Canberra did on North Maple was he had those, they were like little political signs, and they would put them in the lawns, and it would, you know, suggest you to slow down for children. Would they need permission to put those up?
Not really, Clint, you know what I mean, unless they end up like,
Did Bob talk about, were those effective at all?
I don't know. I mean, I know me personally driving, I look at them, you know what I mean, when I see
You
them.
know what I mean, Jenny?
No, which one's are they?
Well, they're like a political lawn sign, that side, you just stick them in
I'm
the
assuming a
grass.
rock song.
And they basically send the message to slow down, children at play,
Mhm.
and I mean, they're colorful and. I mean,
There's a handful of those like neon plastic ones, with a kid with a flag that are like posted along the way.
Mhm.
But it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
That visual reminder.
Tracy, how would we, if we wanted to order up, say, 1,000 of those, and then, do it,
Maybe start with 100 and see how fast they go.
huh?
Start with 100 and see how fast they go.
No, we'll do 1,000. We'll order 1,000 and,
Thousand.
do a
Where's
big,
the budget coming from? 1,000 signs, not cheap.
do a big, PR. Do like a PR gig out in front of
Remember when I
high
was in sixth
school
grade, I had
and
to count to 1,000.
PR out at the farmer's market and have those to where we could give them out with a donation, on the side to help offset the cost of them, but do it as a heavy PR issue for the city.
I'll talk to Spencer.
You have to
Okay.
bring it to
Yeah.
the council as a presentation, it is budget. Terry, you're asking for money now, no advisory committee has
Okay.
their own budget. So,
But now can I
Okay.
slice, steal money from like the traffic or the cops and from,
you say this with AJ Gunn, try to steal money from the cops.
That statement just doesn't sound right.
I know that's funny. Yeah.
I
didn't mean to say
graduated
that.
from Canby, so I'm gonna.
They're the biggest part of our budget, but, I don't know what line item that would fall under, I can't think of that. But it would be a budget request from the city administrator.
Okay, fair enough, I'll work on it. On that note, Canby PD decided to stage left. So we're going on to planning.
Can I, share my?
Oh, yeah.
So, one of my residents, Marge Barkman, had brought in a, complaint about 13th to 18th on Ivy Street. So
Yes, she was.
our residents do a lot of walking, and she was saying that there's no speed limit sign between 13th and 18th, and people are gaining a lot of speed right there. And I know that there's one, I think, by the adult center maybe, where the speed comes up just a little bit after the school zone.
Yeah.
But, anybody turning, say, off of 13th, going south, there's no speed limit sign, and, you know, that's still residential there until you get
When you're
past
heading
18th,
south.
yes.
Yeah, that was what we were talking about a few months back, right, about how some of it's county down to the river.
It's all county, it will be city though.
And the police wanted that lowered all the way to the river, and they wanted it lowered to 30, didn't they?
Yep.
And so I think that's going to happen.
South Ivy, when we take it over, will be 30 from 99 all the way to the bridge.
Okay,
So it's in the
But
works.
that's
Okay.
still an out.
It's not happening fast enough though.
yeah, that's a year out.
Clint, when you talk to Joe, ask him about that too, because him and I can look at the emails, I was talking, I think so. What they told me is if you're going out of town here, they wanted to wait until this subdivision was built out.
Yeah.
Well, it's here,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And so that it's time, that made them feel better about lowering the speed.
Yeah.
But there was heartburn with it, I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't remember what, but I'll follow up with Joe too on that.
well,
Because I did a speed request to drop that to 30, and I
Okay.
sent it to ODOT, and then it came back to county. And what I think they said was that the county has to request it, not me, because it's still a county road.
yes,
And so we're waiting for me to, once I take it over, I'll have full jurisdiction, I can do a request, we drop it to 30, and then we sign it.
yeah.
Okay.
Because over on the right side, over where our stuff is finishing up, and then you've got that development
Yep.
that's back there beyond us, and that's all building out, so you've got people trying to pull out there from that right side.
Which is a bigger problem, coming up the hill or going out of town?
I think it's going
I'll
out.
be going out, people thinking, that, oh, their brains are like,
I'm on with
town.
country,
yeah.
so, and I
Yeah,
don't
I
see
don't think
signs.
there's any signage out there, none, I don't think.
Yeah, I thought there was
One
one by the bridge, but it's really close, it's not, people already picked up their speed.
It's out here,
Yeah, but I think it's when it goes to, I
Yeah.
think it might even be a 55 sign, I can't remember now. It's pretty slick, it's been a lot.
I drive that every day, I don't know how I don't know.
Well, because when you drive something all the
He's
time.
asleep.
You don't think, I'm asleep, I'm thinking about, oh, I'm in Canby. We gotta do- But,
So that's not gonna get a roundabout as once talked about?
yeah,
Oh, it is.
we have the right of way to build it right here.
Is that about 18th?
Yep.
Already, there's a sign.
Did you know that,
There's one on the
Tina?
other
Right
Right here.
There's one on the other side of the road though.
Did you know that, Tina?
So that's heading in to town,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's one,
but
there's one.
not one
There's
heading.
a 40 coming in, and then I think there's one down by, Hoodie River Chocolates, isn't there too? Or like, right,
Makes sense.
but no, Clint, we got the right of way, it's just, what's weird is that roundabout wasn't in the TSP, it wasn't in anything, it's just something the city wanted to do.
Okay,
But, so we'll have the right of way, and we can do it if we have the money someday.
okay, perfect.
There's no sign right here, oh, it's a,
Oh, it's just a signal sign, okay.
Brianna's
There was
getting
one
anxious
right-
about your life.
Yeah.
There's one right
So there's
there.
7 minutes
Right
here
left.
it is, there it is.
But you're almost to,
It's
Yeah.
already almost to the.
you're almost to the stop sign,
Yeah.
but if you're
But
going
is-
out of
and
town.
there's
right
not one
there.
on the other side to point out.
And then-
No, there's nothing, Tracy, going out of
Yeah,
town.
they're just moving across the street.
We could just put them on the street lights. I mean, it's just, we can put them up, it's just they won't, someone knows it, they'll fight the ticket. I think there's one down here, isn't there somewhere?
Yeah, I think it's in the
Yeah.
back of it there.
Right here. Right there? No, that's a
No,
cat.
it's just-
Yeah, that's a sign, right there, he's blocking with the cat sign, I think. No, does that say skin to school zone?
That's something.
In this school zone,
Is that what it says?
so.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
look
but
when I
the
go
signs
back
are
to
pretty
work.
close to it, and school.
Yeah.
And it's
And it's blocked.
Tie.
Transit.
least it's not a speed sign, because that could be bad.
Yeah, we need some more signage out here when we get and when we get this project done, we're gonna have to do some work out there, 'cause it's gonna get new roads, new sidewalks.
I know, I'm excited for that for our residents because they walk to
Yeah.
town all the time.
I love the kids. So can any signs go up in the short term, or does it have to wait?
No, I can't sign it until, well, we'll talk, Clint and I will talk to Joe
Okay,
and see what he says, and,
See, there's a lot of old people there. You don't want people crashing into each other.
Even if they don't want to put a new sign, just move the one from
well, we'll
the
just,
river side of
we-
the road to the other side of the road, going
Yeah.
out of town. Because the one that's,
Yeah.
it's almost to the signal, you're already slowing down.
we did an IGA, I took an IGA to city council, and I have to read the IGA, but basically it says we, Public Works, has signing, permitting authority from the bridge all the way in, but they still own the road. And that was the confusion, so that was the confusion on changing the speed. Now, if I wanted to go and replace stuff, I have to do the striping, I have to replace the signage, but I can't make changes. So we'll see what he says, Clint.
okay, so, good job.
Just
9:30.
do you wanna, I had one other update. Yeah, if I can give a really quick update, something I wanted to request. I'm not even sure exactly what we call it, but you know how, the Safeway Shopping Center, has a little piece of a road that you can pull onto 99 from, between the memorial and the kind of landscapey thing. If you are sitting there wanting to turn onto 99, when you look left, the bushes are overgrown to the point where it kind of like blocks the visibility looking up 99 towards.
Right here, Jenny, if you're coming out here,
Yeah,
Yes, exactly. So if you're turning left, you see that big old bush there in the picture? So,
it's right.
yeah,
This bush.
it's that, it's past the sign now. So you can't see up 99. So if we can trim that back to behind the sign like it is in this picture, then it would greatly improve visibility for people who are trying to get
No
out there.
I'd be great to throw that thing out and not have a big old
Some
bush right
Jason
there.
Yeah, take it out, put in some flowers or something, what we call. But yeah, if you guys would be able to do that, that would be rad, because I've been over there a couple times lately, and I can't see, yeah.
Thank you for your contribution.
Got it, done. That's
Now,
it?
does me leaving do we not have form anymore, or is
Yeah,
it?
you don't have.
We're not gonna
But
really
there's nothing to
vote
vote
on
on.
anything.
Okay, oh, so that doesn't matter, I
doesn't
still talk for down to get her updates.
It's
I'm
nice
terrible
to,
about keeping her waiting.
nice to have your little guy come too.
Pastor Dean, you did a very good job being patient.
Oh,
Yeah, good
Brianna
job.
said I'll be right back out, you probably said that along, oh,
No, it's just a minute ago,
Okay,
she just took
yeah,
off when I
transition,
mentioned this. And then I had said before, but I will not be able to attend next month's meeting. I have to give a presentation at 9:30, and it's a team where I can't reschedule it, so. I apologize, but I look forward to seeing you guys in November, and I'll watch the video after the fact.
All right,
Thank you,
Take care.
thank you.
and thank you for having this.
No, that's fine. No, thank you.
take care, Jen.
Thank you.
This is the Facebook.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Hi, have a good day. You guys too. See ya. See ya.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. The only thing that, but I'm not a voting member, the only thing I didn't quite agree with was this, because they already made me up here and changed it to line two. That's the only thing that I was like, but that's semantics.
Yeah, well, I was going off of process 1 and 2.
Well, this says process, and then it's listed as A, B, C. But you know what, when it comes down to finalizing, writing the ordinance, that really is
So-
everything.
So, do I
It's
address,
supposed to go through legal too.
yeah, do I address this up first? Or do I just say?
I would just present it, I mean, Brianna and Spencer is it. I would just submit it as you have it,
Okay,
because like I said, it's gonna be where it actually becomes an official ordinance and it goes through legal and everything, so.
okay. I
It
just
can
didn't
get
know,
wordsmithed a couple times more.
I just didn't know how pretty you needed it. So,
Should we type in the public works till she comes back?
yeah. Anything? Or
we got a lot going on. What do you wanna know about? All of it?
One of the questions,
There
since
she
we're
is.
talking about South Ivy,
Yep.
do you know when that light is scheduled to go in at Township and South Ivy?
It'll be in the second phase. Right now, they're doing all the underground, the piping, all that stuff, and they've ordered it. So there's a waiting period on the RFP up at 11th and the traffic signal. So next year.
Okay. And then I just again would like to commend your team and you for all the work you've done and the striping and crosswalks, signage, and
We appreciate that.
coordinating everything, and you guys are top drawers.
Taking the kids for ODOT.
Yeah, Helen's calling me right now, so I don't know what that's about.
So on Ivy, I noticed that those gonna be blinking signage where they've made those crosswalks along there?
Just where we took the flashing one that was there at 11th.
Yeah.
They're putting in a permanent one with with flashing that's bigger and brighter. In
Gotcha.
the meantime, we're gonna take the old one out, they got it all poured and put it back to the school.
Okay.
And temporarily. And then at the signal, we're gonna have to do some work on the signal because the signal at Township, DKS and Kittleson and all the engineers say that intersection does not warrant a traffic signal,
Which one?
Township and Ivy.
Oh.
So they will not turn it on.
But that wasn't that the person who's doing the project? They were gonna take
Yeah,
that
they
in
just-
from day one, that was
You
part of
know
the
how
project.
the traffic studies go. So anyways, what they
Oh,
told
dear.
us, I'm putting it in, and then they say, when we take over the road, we can do what we want with it.
Okay.
So, we'll have to, that'll be a little work, so we don't create liability for the city, but, I think by the time anything gets done, the traffic gets, like,
Just have to be timed right from the one from 99, right?
that,
So
they'll all
the-
talk, 13, and all them will communicate, but, I just don't understand why it doesn't. I don't think, I don't wanna undermine DKS or Kittleson or any of the traffic studies, but there has been a lot of accidents there has been issues there. I don't wanna create more, but right now the signal's gonna go in and it's gonna be a red flashing and yellow going the other way for caution. But we'll be able to just, when the time comes that the traffic study triggers it, it's all in. We just, Public Works can mount the signal heads up
Nice.
and it's done. It's ready to go. We have the right of way, the poles are in and, it'll be lit and then push button crossings there for the kids.
The crosswalks are great. I just wish that people would actually go to them. It's so
I know.
frustrating when you see somebody,
Just trying to
Yeah.
dart across the road any old
you
way.
know, 50 feet down from one, and then they're waiting, and then they're blocked by something. I see it regularly because I go down that road every day. Like, just walk to the
Walk to
crosswalk
the,
because.
where you're protected and it's legal, but we have to
Yes.
stop for you there.
Well, maybe that's something, I don't know who, the person would be to talk to, but when John Steach was the superintendent, do you guys remember him? He was 3 or so ago, do you remember? He actually talked to Rick Robinson, asked if he could work directly with me on that. And we started this campaign to start working with the kids, giving them access and making them use it. Like he would actually, if they didn't use the crosswalks, the school would interfere and talk to the kids. And it was really a good program and we did a lot of work and hopefully maybe the new superintendent will be on
Yeah.
board with that.
Honestly, I see more adults
Yeah,
doing that than I do the kids. And it's just, I saw one the other day and there was something blocking it, and by the time I saw it, it would have been dangerous for me to slam on my
Mhm.
brakes, well, then the person's just standing there waiting, because then nobody else is stopping, and I'm just like, you're creating your own problem, walk down
Mhm.
30 feet.
You
and
could have
go.
been across the road by now, all the time you're waiting right here.
It's just so dangerous, and I just, and then from the legality standpoint of, you're supposed to stop for them.
I had another thing I wanted to bring up to, if we're talking about Public Works, on Jenny's issue with her. That has been an ongoing issue over in that area for years. And throwing stop signs at it, throwing speed studies at it, all that, are we just, is it just gonna go on forever, you think?
What do you think is the best way to fix it?
I think we need to spend some money on it, like, traffic study on the whole area or something and get a recommendation and follow it. I don't know, because like, what scares me, just to be honest, I was gonna tell her this when it came up is, okay, so people are speeding down Third and we're gonna put a stop sign in because of that, right? So we're treating it as traffic calming. I know that's not what they're gonna say, but we are. So when someone pulls up, when I pull up to that intersection, it's a three-way stop, and someone speeds and blows that, doesn't it not make it a more dangerous situation? You know what I mean? That's my worry. I like stop signs where they warn it. I think this group has done a really good job of where they put them. I mean, a really good job. They've been through, they've looked into it, you know, and knock on wood, we haven't had any accidents at the ones we put in because we did our job. But that one there, you guys, it's wide to a narrow street. It scares me.
Well, one of the things we haven't really talked about, I don't believe, along that area is, are there very many crosswalks in that section?
No, and there's no ADA, there's no, you know what I mean? And then it's, that whole neighborhood hasn't been up.
Because it seems like if you had a balanced number of crosswalks that were properly located, and maybe you built in those bump outs where you cross into a bump out, those slow people down because it narrows there.
We did a similar project, a CDBG project over in Northwest. Similar, if you go look at that, we did bump outs, we did ADA ramps, the county gave us, you know, $500,000 to do it. But that area over there, we keep talking about it. And the other thing is, have we looked into, has there been accidents there? Do we have any information on police on that? I just hate going and throwing.
And our one-way streets, is that off limits?
No, I think it's an excellent idea.
It would seem
but our
like a
council,
reasonable thing to consider.
was it the other council that did Mike one ways?
It was a long time ago. It was before I was on it.
You've been on.
So would like Second be one direction and Third be the other?
It would have been,
The city,
And I-
city folks.
Being that I'm more familiar with that area, I've kind of changed my mind on that. So
And you
I
look-
I would advocate for it.
we built this one, this was the first one way I ever built over here at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, that seems to work pretty well.
It does, and it's parking on one side, semis, this is a truck route that works, you know, so, I mean, I think we need to revisit that area with something like that, and
I agree, because I go down to high school and stuff, now I've used that grant to get over to Ivy when the lights were all shut down on 99. And noticed that it was a little bit, and then you've got all the cars parked on both sides of the road, and
Yeah.
it's like,
AJ said there's no parking, but there are people still park on both sides of that road. And then you got a school bus coming down. There's no two-way going down that. People pulling over behind a parked car and then going back
well,
out.
then they're gonna have to park on one side of the road.
it would be, you know, this is the truck route. So this would be one way this way, and this would be one way the other, you know, I mean, it would sure solve a lot of problems. My biggest fear is what fire's gonna come in and say when we start changing stuff, because they need 26 feet of clear. I don't know, guys, that whole area over
It
there,
would be worth revisiting.
it's
Start
a
there.
continuous issue, but I don't see the wrecks that, okay, but if someone gets killed, then it's,
Well, and then, yeah, I mean, I hope we just wait for that to be the bar we reach.
I'll let you take, they outnumber me.
Because they could change with society just like everyone else.
It's tough, we're trying to make narrower streets, less stormwater, less pavement, less, you know, all that carbon footprint, and then fires. We gotta go wider on their end, you know, so it's tough, it's a tough deal.
Yeah,
But when you're stuck in the
so they put
upstairs,
fire apparatus in smart car, we're gonna have to do
Black
that.
Street.
Yeah.
So, just to wrap up Public Works real quick, Ivy is a 2-year process. They're doing all the underground right now. When they get that all done, they're struggling with it because there's so many utilities out there. They'll get all the storm system hooked up, all that, then they'll start working on sidewalks.
How far into the 2-year project are you?
How far into it?
Yeah.
We started it in April.
Say spring.
Okay, so pretty close to about a year and a half left to go.
Yeah, max.
Okay.
It's going all right. County's been great partnering with them. They get to be the bad guys with the contractor. I don't have to, so I'm kind of enjoying it. 99, Eileen's working with Jamie and I and the mayor on trying to do some sort of ribbon cutting for it.
Still looking at October.
Yeah, they're wrapped up. They're just gonna do striping and fix the manhole covers. They got a little they got punch list items to do.
Okay.
But hopefully they fix the striping down there in front of Safeway because.
They gotta fix it kind of,
They will.
at Pine too.
That
Like-
job.
Yeah, there's a jog on Pine too, where it's like the new, and then the middle's up here.
The urban renewal project, 8 alleys, we got 2 paved.
Oh, wow, good job on that.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance, go drive behind the backstop or Ebner's.
Nice.
And like,
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to drive behind Evans like a week ago.
yeah, it was pretty cool. I was over there when they were doing it, and there was like 8 or 9 Eagle Elsner employees and maybe a city employee, and everyone was eating jerky. Everyone.
Mike was out with the
Everyone,
alley,
yeah.
right?
So the alleys will be done. They're struggling with the alleys. Everything's so flat, the slopes getting it right, but they're getting it. And then, I think that's kind of, the guys have wrapped up on striping. They're taking the painter off, so they're done with mainline striping. They got a little bit of, small stuff to do over there.
Neat.
Just to give you guys an FYI, we had a big, meeting last night with Parks Advisory, and Bike and Ped came in. I posted the logging path. No e-bikes. And it started a ruckus. I mean, a huge ruckus. And right now, where we're at with it is they came in, I told them, guys, we're not against it. We're just trying to get educated on it. So if you hear anything on that, this group, we're right now working with the city administrator, the chief of police, on figuring out what to do, if we're gonna follow the state mandate on that, or if we're gonna make our own policy. Bike and Ped, they're gonna take on maybe writing their own ordinance to present to council to look at, so.
So you currently have it posted?
I haven't posted
No
no
e-bikes.
e-bikes, yeah.
And the e-bike people are scrapping, is that what's happening?
They think
Okay.
that I'm just taking it away for good, and what it came down to is no one really wanted to commit to this, and what the attorney said is it's down to the director's decision. It didn't say which director, but in there it said if it's doing property damage to parks, or if it's a safety hazard or anything like that, and I've heard so many complaints about speeding with e-bikes.
Yeah.
So that was my trigger. I'm just gonna post it because we can enforce it.
So they can take their e-bike, they just need a pedal.
No,
No e-bikes.
Well,
none.
it's, I mean.
It's right now, it says no motorized vehicle. It has an electric motor on it. It'd be like you pushing your motorcycle out there. I guess you could go do that. But right, we're not gonna take it away. We're not stopping it. We just need to get organized, because I wanted to post it to eliminate liability with the city. If someone gets killed out there right now because there's, and so
And how do we enforce them not speeding on the trail though?
I don't know, George,
The resources
That's-
are there.
that's what I'm meeting with George and Eileen
Okay.
tomorrow.
You'll patrol it with an e-bike.
Yeah, we sold the
It's pretty-
motorcycle to get an
It's
e-bike.
pretty interesting, the ordinance was from 1994, adopting the, state's rules, following their rules, and in that, they revised it again with another ordinance saying that they raised the fines to $500, and it kind of deputized parks employees. They can write, and it says that in there that parks employees can write tickets, issue citations. So,
Wow.
I don't know how that would go. It probably gone better in 1994 than now. I don't know how, and I don't know how they'd catch up on the e-bikes. They're fast. But
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just wanted to give you a heads up on that, and it has to do with traffic safety because of the e-bike portion. They're on our streets, they're on our paths, and it's a very controversial subject right now.
And
Some of them don't wear helmets. and
electric
they're like-
skateboards too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, you guys, of what else we have going.
Lot.
And that's about it, for streets, public works project.
Well, thanks so much for everything.
Tracy, can I interrupt you and have Brianna go first?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Good morning, Brianna.
Good morning, everyone. Few items here. We got a design review. Well, it's just a type 1, a site plan review for the grocery outlet at the former Rite Aid. So we'll probably see that coming in. And then Beer Library and Chipotle are on their last stretches. The next step for them is getting their occupancy. So we'll see when we see that come in. That's when I know I can give you all an update that, they will be opening soon, but I think that they're both pretty far on the path there. Other than that, we're not doing any more public meetings for the comp plan until next year. We're taking a little holiday break, but we're still working on it. Trust. We're heavy into that, but the next public meeting will be in the next year. And let me just check. The church partition up the Holly Street Church that the adult center has been working with, we approved that partition. So we're expecting to see the actual conditional use come in for the adult center soon. Other than that, I am happy to answer questions.
Can you verify to get their Northwest Natural issue fixed?
I'm sorry?
Did the Beer Library get their Northwest Natural unpaused? They were waiting for meters. Did that get fixed?
Oh, I'm not sure. I can ask Emma though.
Okay, I was just curious. Thank you.
Do you know about
Oregon City.
timing on Marshalls?
I know.
I don't know. We signed off that business license more than a month ago. So I'm not sure what else they're doing. We haven't seen any site plan come in. So I don't know if they're doing any physical changes. We would have seen that happen too. So I'm not sure why they're not open yet.
Well, I know they're hiring. They're doing hiring events, so.
Yeah, so maybe they're just on their own timeline, but yeah, we haven't had any issues pop up for them. So
Luana, I have a question for you. Are you the planner for the adult center?
I will be, yeah.
Oh, are they gonna have to do like sidewalk improvements and stuff like that? Street improvement? Okay.
No, because it seems like it's a pretty official decision that just for partitions we're not requiring improvements, and the actual adult center doesn't plan to make any physical changes except adding like a walk-in fridge. So there's not really that nexus to require those improvements. I personally do have a little bit of heartburn with that, but it's kind of a policy decision that's been made. Because unless the adult center does come back for a larger sort of reno, I don't know when we would get those improvements in.
That's a compromise.
Do you know what will happen to the old senior center?
We don't yet know, and that's actually a big question because it's tied to also the school district. So there's kind of an interagency agreement there. So they have to kind of go back and look at the original agreement to see kind of what the scope is for options, what they can do for that building.
Do you know the timing on when they will move to the church for their new location?
The church is actually going to also stay in their location. It seems to be a very symbiotic relationship because, during church services, it'll be free and open. The adult center won't be running. So they're going to be sharing facilities for the future. But the second parcel that is currently vacant where there's like a garden and a few like a picnic shelter, that big area is going to be its own parcel and that'll be retained by the church. So if they do want to kind of build a second building in the future, they do have that option.
And then can you comment if there have been any interest in the old Siren Song or the Wayward Sandwich location?
I haven't seen anything come through, no. It would just be a business license though. Those things are pretty built out. I wouldn't imagine someone wanting to rent it and then gut it again. So if someone intends to move in, I think it would be a pretty quick process for them.
On the adult center, when are they planning their move soon, or is that a ways out yet?
They bought the land and they're going to go through the conditional use process. They already had their pre-app, so they did their neighborhood meeting yesterday, actually, I think last night. And then they need to do the traffic study. And then once the traffic study is done, those usually take about 2-3 weeks. They're going to apply for their conditional use. And a conditional use will take maybe 4 to 6 months to get. So yeah, they are planning right now to do that move. But I also know that they are being cognizant of the folks at Hope Village, and they do have a plan to have a shuttle. Because I know that it's kind of a large move. It's kind of moving from the south end of the town to the north end of the town. So they did keep that in mind. But yeah, it's imminent.
Yeah, I work at Hope Village, that's why I'm asking, I have a lot of
Absolutely.
heartburn over
A lot of
that.
people are like, where are they going away from us? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big thought. We definitely talked about that in the pre-app, and they have a plan for that. But if you'd like, I could pass along your information to Kathy, the director at the Adult Center, if you'd like.
Kind of in contact, I just didn't know it had moved along quite as quickly as it has, but thank you.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Brianna, what's the status of the Horseshoe Diner?
The what street? I'm sorry.
No, what, the status of the Horseshoe Diner?
Horseshoe Diner.
Horseshoe Diner. I haven't heard of that. What is that?
I don't know, I'm just being.
Oh, okay. I was like, there are projects I might not know about.
Well, everyone has their set order that they want to know of, so I thought
Yeah. Trying to catch me off guard. I will admit if I don't know about something.
well, I already tried to get you off guard by letting you have the first show today, but
Oh. Yeah. Sorry about that. There was someone at the counter.
okay. Well, I'll let you know ahead of time. Any other questions, concerns? Let's see what my notes say here. There's on.
I don't really have much to report to you. I fill with your questions if you have any.
We need money.
Any new changes, anything exciting going on that you can talk about?
Any new changes and exciting right now?
I think you were on the hunt for a new attorney, right? Or already?
Well, the RFPs are out, for now, the process is ongoing. We're wrapping that up in the next month sometime.
We did an RFQ for new engineering services, and we have 7 on-call engineers now,
Really? Wow.
which is cool. I've always wanted to do that.
Oh, neat.
So we got a list, and it's under 100,000. Planning or asking, just pick one of those and use them. If it's over 100, we send RFP to 7.
So we don't have an engineer of record per se.
Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah.
First time since I've been on the council.
I've wanted that for years, and now it's gonna help planning and us, and we got the big guys and some little guys and
Nice.
people, yeah, and it's fair.
And then if I can interrupt you, you said the siren song was open again. Is it same ownership?
I don't think so. I think Matt sold it to someone, but they've been advertising on Facebook and stuff. They opened it a couple weeks ago,
So
2-3 weeks ago.
schedule will be pretty similar to the way it was.
Yeah, they're open in the afternoons. If you look on Facebook,
It's still super expensive.
yes. It's, yeah, the menu has changed some, but it's similar. They put it on Facebook, you can see their menu and stuff. They opened, I think it was their hours. Boy, MS, I see.
Can I ask Brianna one more question? Brianna, is there any more timing on the backstops expansion?
Is there any more what on the backstop extension?
Timing on the backstop expanding into the old Canby Herald building?
Ken is positive.
Oh, you paused it,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think that I think he's taking it in phases.
Okay, well, thank you.
Open Wednesday through Sunday, starting. Well, Monday through Tuesday.
Thank you.
So with that, we go into members' concerns or points of discussion. Cliff, you're here.
Yeah, one of the things you had talked about the last time was, and I don't know if you want to hold this off until next time, but Jack's 2 projects that you'd like us to work on the remainder of the year. And I had a couple of projects.
Another line of bridge.
Well, I think the speed camera 3-month test is certainly something that I have put high on the list. And here's for Jerry, would asking Joe Merrick about future plans for a stoplight at South End Road and 99, he touched on that too.
He would put you in the right
Okay.
direction of who to talk to on that.
And then the other thing, the last thing that's really, I think we should make a list of our busiest streets in Canby, like 13th and Burke Parkway, South Ivy, Territorial, Knightsbridge, Holly. And just do an examination of all the signage and the crosswalks and just weigh in and if we think, it's right on, or if we need to do any tweaking or change signs or adding crosswalks, those kinds of things. That was really, and then the only other thing we're gonna talk about with like Officer Miller was they're working on the Facebook. I would think it'd be really helpful for him to touch on best practices. Say you're in a Fred Meyer parking lot and someone hits your car, it's obvious to him the steps you should go through. But I think it would be helpful to people to
That's a
know.
good idea.
Or if like you're on Highway 99 and your car stops working or you get a flat tire, I mean, it seems like sometimes in the past, there's been the thought of putting your hood up and just waiting in your car. I don't know if that's still a suggested idea. Him as some of his helpful tips.
Can you do me a favor on that one?
Sure.
Can you email and AJ on that? Your
Okay.
ideas and concerns, and let them see what magic they can come up with.
And if anyone else has any suggestions, you have any other additional ones that you would think of? I mean, or one just obvious, I mean, this can happen
Yeah.
anywhere, someone's tailgating, just right on your tail. I always suggest that, you should
Checking your brakes.
pick a safe location and pull off and just let them go and don't get involved in any colorful hand gestures. In other words, don't engage in road rage, because
It's dangerous
it
now.
doesn't have any upside to it.
Yeah, people are quick to reciprocate.
Yeah, okay, well, that's all I have. Then I will email those folks.
So I would love to entertain Tina.
Yeah, she already brought up her issue.
Yeah, I'm all good and.
Oh, I have one question that Tina might answer. What are they building there on the corner of 13th and Parkway and South Ivy?
So that is, you mean across from the adult center?
Yeah,
Yeah, so nothing at the moment. I think that the city or county is using that property to store their stuff for the project on
oh,
Ivy.
okay,
Correct.
it's a parking lot.
They're just staging all the piping up.
Okay,
You
well,
know.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if that project, it was going to be a senior care.
Yeah,
So
Brianna, what's the status of that project on 13th and Ivy?
That project, I don't know if I want to say died, but it is not. I don't think we're gonna see it again because after it was approved by Planning Commission, Fire changed their requirements, and so they said that they were gonna attempt a redesign. That was about a year and a half ago, and we haven't heard anything from them since. So I don't know if they can make it work with the new fire requirements. So yeah, as of now, there's no movement on that. If there is, I will let you know. That corner has been, kind of a big question for a lot of people for a while. So I thought we were towards the end of having something there, but it doesn't look like they're going to come through anytime soon. But if they do, I will definitely update you.
Thank you very much.
So what'd you say?
Yeah.
I don't know, you pointed my direction and said something.
No, I offered her report when I was doing the business.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will say at 10:02, meeting done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brianna.
Thanks, Brianna.
Bye, everyone.
Where did the old siren song